national file. Patrick Howley. Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi personally rents office space to a child welfare group, First Five San Mateo County, that was set up by a convicted pedophile. The group partners with a nonprofit that ran a group house where child molestation occurred, and partners with a conflict resolution center that had a volunteer convicted for storing hundreds of images of child porn. National File has exclusively obtained the lease documents showing that Nancy Pelosi is the group's landlady dating back to 2002. The same year, monstrous pedophile Dr. William Ayers was given an award by city politicians for his work with the group. By that time, numerous pedophilia allegations, including a police report, had been made against Ayers, who was later convicted on pedophilia charges in 2007 and died in prison. First Five is a statewide supposed child welfare group in California that was previously chaired on a state level by Rob Reiner and is funded with cigarette tax money. California is in the middle of a massive crisis involving child sex trafficking allegations and pedophilia arrests in the Child Protective Services foster care system. In fact, California does not even send out an Amber Alert for missing foster care children, instead counting them all as runaways. San Mateo County, where pedophile Ayers set up the local First Five chapter that calls Pelosi landlady, is arguably the center of the child sex trafficking crisis in California. Nancy Pelosi spends a lot of time in San Mateo due to her friendship with San Mateo lawyer and Democrat fundraiser Joe Kotchett. Kotchett, who is picking federal judges for the Biden administration and was accused by his ex-wife in his divorce case of physically assaulting his children and being nude around his daughters. A partner in Kotchett's law firm protects judges from her perch on the Commission on Judicial Performance. Our source explained pedophile Dr. William Ayers served with former San Mateo County District Attorney Jim Fox and former San Mateo County Supervisor Richard Gordon on the San Mateo County Children and Families First Commission, now called the First Five, in the early 2000s. Ayers designed the group at San Mateo. Rich Gordon was instrumental in having Ayers employed by the commission and honoring him with the Lifetime Achievement Award. After his time on the Board of Supervisors in San Mateo, Democrat Rich Gordon became an assemblyman in Sacramento. There were red flags about Ayers for decades. I believe that First Five knew because there is a broad representation on the commission. Pedophile Dr. William Ayers worked for the San Mateo Children and Families First Commission, which later became San Mateo County First Five, beginning in 1999. A source told National File that Ayers designed and set up the First Five chapter in San Mateo, and that for years thereafter he was involved as an informed advisor. Ayers set up the program, and Ayers was always in the background of San Mateo First Five. Ayers always had the power in First Five, one source said, until Ayers' arrest in 2007. Elected official Rich Gordon, who brought Ayers into the fold to set up San Mateo First Five, served on the commission of San Mateo First Five for years as a commission member and led meetings that were housed in the office space Nancy Pelosi rented to the group. This article goes on, and I'll let you guys dig into this further, but wow, what an explosive article here. Nancy Pelosi directly connected to child sex trafficking by renting to a group that was basically led by a pedophile. So, supposed child welfare group, rather a front for child sex trafficking, I would say. So this is pretty explosive stuff here. Again, I'll let you guys read the rest of this article. But I've long talked about Nancy Pelosi being connected to satanic pedophilia. Finally, the last story I wanted to cover here was a Wisconsin man is scanning ballots and suing a county clerk as he launches his own election review. This was published back on July the 5th. Republican lawmakers are not the only ones examining Wisconsin's presidential election. A new London man has been making copies of ballots in some communities as he conducts his own review of an election that Joe Biden narrowly won. Our intention is to have a true and honest elections. You hear all kinds of rumors, and we want to dispel some of those if it's not true, Peter Bernegger said when asked about his endeavor. Bernegger declined to say what his plans are, but said he would announce them in the coming weeks. Recounts in Dane and Milwaukee counties and more than a half dozen lawsuits upheld Biden's victory. Bernegger's push to inspect ballots comes as Republican lawmakers ramp up their own review of the election. They have hired former state Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman and former law enforcement officers at taxpayers' expense to conduct their review as they decide whether to pass more election-related legislation. Let me get down to the meat of the article here. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald said last year's election was run properly, but he worries efforts like Berneger's undermined faith in it. Berneger sued Door County Clerk Jill Lau in May for copies of election documents a judge has yet to rule. He has also made copies of ballots in at least 2 Dane County communities, Verona and Westport. He indicated he was collecting ballots in other counties, but declined to say which ones. Robert Anderson, the deputy clerk in Westport, said Berneger told him he had plans to visit Brown County and hoped to eventually review 2 million of the 3.3 million ballots cast in the state. Asked about that figure Thursday, Berneger said he had no knowledge of the total number of ballots he would end up examining. Anderson said Berneger asked to review the more than 3,000 ballots cast in Westport. Berneger and 3 others spent about 4 hours there last month scanning copies on equipment they brought with them. Anderson had 3 poll workers on hand to oversee the process. He charged Berneger $135 to cover their pay, he said. They were just looking for stuff. He didn't give me specifics, Anderson said. In Verona, Berneger said Berneger and a few others spent half a day scanning ballots from one ward, according to City Administrator Adam Sayer. Dane County has posted images of every ballot cast in November on its website. Berneger didn't say why he wanted to make his own copies instead of using those. In his lawsuit in Door County, Berneger wrote that he'd asked to inspect and take photos of hard drives, memory sticks, election manuals, vote tabulations, and other documents. He wrote in the lawsuit that he had looked at some material during a friendly meeting at the clerk's office, but that copies of many other records have not been provided. Berneger told the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel he is working with people of all political stripes, but declined to disclose his own leanings. Here's the rigging I have found so far. Numerous people showed up on Election Day last November 3rd in Wisconsin and were told you were already voted when they had not. More to come on this particular issue. So this is from what I can tell, this is a private citizen who has a group of people working with him, and he's suing county clerks and going to various cities and paying money and basically getting these ballots and doing his own audit. So I don't know where that's going to go, but I just thought that was interesting that a private citizen has the power to do something like that. So pretty amazing stuff. I wanted to get this out here and let you guys, form your own opinion about this. But pretty amazing the power that an American citizen has to audit an election. All right, if you like what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, if you think I'm working hard and I deserve to be paid, this is my full-time career, which I love. I love doing what I do. So if you want to help me out, the easiest way to do so is through my PayPal. That's the very first link right below this video. That's the easiest way to send me a donation. I also have a Cash App if you prefer to use that instead. The instructions on how to use Cash App are also right below the video. And if you're old school, you don't want to use the internet to send a donation, that's fine. I also have a P.O. Box, 2 of them actually, one in Richmond, one in Juneau. You can send it to either one and it'll still get routed to wherever I am. And if you want a response to your snail mail donation, please enclose your email address in that snail mail donation. If you have a prayer request, you want our prayer team to pray for you, we'll be happy to do so. Just make sure you email me. My email is also right below the video. Email me your prayer request. I'll get it to our prayer team, and we will make sure to pray for you. All right, guys. Again, thank you for all your love, support, and prayers. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.